Welcome to In the Thick of Mental Health. This is a space where we talk honestly about mental health, emotional wellness, real life stress, and we discuss practical tools that we can use in everyday life. This is not a space where we pretend life is easy. This is a space where we acknowledge that many people are functioning, working, caring for others, and showing up for responsibilities and still feeling overwhelmed inside. We're all going through stuff. Some of us handle it better than others. Some of us cover it up better than others. This is what In the Thick of Mental Health is for. While I am a licensed therapist, this is in no way meant to replace any therapy sessions that you are participating in or to act as a therapist for you. This is purely education where you can learn practical tools. Today, we're going to talk about mental wellness. Before we talk about mental wellness or mental illness or diagnosis or anxiety or depression, trauma or grief, we need to talk about wellness. Mental wellness is not just the absence of a diagnosis. It's how we care for our minds, emotions, bodies, relationships, thoughts, the boundaries we set in our daily functioning. Mental wellness asks, what am I adding to my life that helps me to stay emotionally steady, connected, clear, and supported? Mental wellness means you have tools, supports, habits, and awareness that helps you handle life with more balance. It does not mean you never struggle. It does not mean you're always happy. It does not mean you always respond perfectly. It means you are building the ability to notice what is happening inside of you and respond with care instead of only reacting from stress or fear or anger or sadness or exhaustion, which currently in the state of things, we are all exhausted. Exhausted from the daily stress of just getting up and living this life. Mental wellness includes emotional wellness, healthy coping skills, supportive relationships, rest and recovery, physical care, boundaries, purpose, spiritual or value based grounding, access to help when you need it. Mental wellness is the daily practice of caring for your inner life before your stress becomes a crisis. If you are on social media, or even if you're just watching daily programming, you'll see that information about mental wellness is everywhere. It's something that is searched in Google over 100,000 times a day in different formats. People asking about their mental health. What can they do to help their mental health? How can they relieve stress? How can they relieve anxiety? Where are communities at that they could connect with people that are um, feeling some of the same things that they are feeling? This is something that we are all looking for. This is not uncommon at all. Many people are searching for mental health wellness because they are looking for a love language. They're looking for a connection. They may not know exactly what they're feeling. They may search for things like, why am I overwhelmed? How do I stop overthinking? What are the signs of anxiety? How to improve my mental health? How to deal with stress? Why am I always tired? Why am I always tired, y'all? How to feel better emotionally. And what are some mental wellness tools? The basic search itself tells us that something is needed, something is important. People are looking for answers. People are looking for relief. People are looking for words to explain how they feel. When people search for mental wellness, they are often asking deeper questions. Is what I'm feeling normal? Yes. What you are feeling is normal. You are not by yourself. And we have the search engine results to prove that. Can you get better? Yes, you can get better. But it's going to be a journey, it's going to be a daily practice. What can I do today? Today, you can start with simple things. What helps you get through that moment? It's not a one size fits all. It's not a simple phrase that's going to fix you. It's not a simple, a one size technique that's going to make everything better. It's going to be the use of multiple things that you do on a daily level. Do you know that you even need help? Sometimes we're so busy caught up in the functioning of just existing. We don't even realize that the way we're functioning is not a healthy level of function. Where do I start? Well, if you're listening to this, hopefully you're starting with this podcast and getting some of the tools that you need. Where do you start? You start by recognizing I cannot do this by myself. This is why mental wellness conversations are important. They give people the language, the options, and the permission to care for themselves. Mental wellness matters because our mental health affects how we think, how we feel, how we respond, how we parent, how we lead, how we work, the way we rest, the way we communicate and make decisions. When our mental health, when our mental wellness is neglected, we may notice things like irritability, poor sleep, difficulty focusing, overthinking. Some of this sound familiar? Emotional shutdown, anger outbursts, isolation. This is a good one because we love to feel like if I just get away from everybody, if I just go by myself, I'll be okay. And we do that, and it may seem okay for a while, but it doesn't fix what's the core issues. We have low motivation, feeling numb, low motivation. That's something I've been dealing with myself. I can't tell you how many times I have attempted to record this, just feeling like I couldn't get it right. Nobody's going to listen to this. Why even bother? Just not motivated to do this at all, even though this is something I've been wanting to do for the longest time. You feel numb sometimes. You have increased worry. You feel disconnected from others. Even you feel disconnected from yourself. Sometimes people say, I'm fine, when what they really mean is, I'm still here. I'm still doing it. I'm still going to work. I'm still taking care of everyone else. I haven't stopped yet. But functioning is not always the same as being well. Mental wellness helps us move from survival mode to intentional living. Survival mode says, I just have to get through this. Mental wellness asks, what do I need so I do not have to keep living in this emergency mode? Let's start with a simple tool. I call this the 3-part mental wellness check in. Ask yourself 3 questions. What am I feeling? Not what should I feel? Not what do others expect me to feel? What am I actually feeling? What do I need? Do I need rest, support, quiet, movement, food, prayer, a boundary, help, clarity, or connection? What is one healthy action I can take next? Not 10 actions, not a whole life transformation, just one healthy step. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you might need quiet and clarity. Your next healthy action might be to write down 3 things I actually need to do today. If you're feeling like you're not connected, you might feel lonely. A healthy action to take is to text someone safe and ask if they could talk this week, talk today. Simple actions like this helps us slow down. When we can name what is happening, we are less likely to be controlled by it. What can you add to your own mental health? Many times, people only think about mental health in terms of what they need to stop. I need to stop worrying. I need to stop crying. I need to stop overthinking. I need to stop being angry. I need to stop feeling sad. What you need to ask is, what do I need to add? There are several things you can do to strengthen your mental health. You can add rest. Rest is not lazy. I know we live in a society where it's all about the hustle, 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 and build, 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 and gain, gain, gain. But if you don't rest in a way that is restoring you, all those things will fall to the wayside because your health will come first. Rest is repair. The body and the brain need a recovery time. So rest might not be get more sleep for you. Rest might be just sitting in some quiet. Rest might be tuning everyone out for a minute or just going to a place. I know for me, I feel really recovered when I get to go sit by a body of water. Something about just sitting by that water truly restores me, and that's where I get rest. You want to add movement. Movement helps release stress from the body. I am one that truly believes our emotion is our is an energy. And if we don't do something with that energy, it's going to find some place to land, somewhere to rest, something to do in our body because we're not doing something with it. When you add movement, it helps to take the intenseness away from whatever is going on. Walking, stretching, dancing, cleaning, that is my go to. When I feel like my life is out of order, I will clean. And if I can put a room in my house in order, I feel like I can tackle the next thing that's put in front of me. It doesn't have to always be an intense move. You don't have to go do an hour workout. It can be a gentle movement. You want to add honest language. Instead of saying, I'm fine, practice saying, I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now. I am grieving. I am anxious. I need support. You want to add a connection. Isolation can make emotional distress behavior even heavier. Find a safe connection This helps you remember you do not have to carry everything alone. Add boundaries. A boundary is not a punishment. A boundary is a limit that protects your emotional, physical, and mental capacity. Add a routine. The brain often feels safer with some predictability. A morning routine, a bedtime routine, a meal routine, or planning routine can reduce emotional chaos. I'm in the middle of developing a healthier routine for myself. One of the things I've gotten into, and my husband has been very supportive, is trying to work out a couple of times during the week. That with intermittent fasting has really helped me with my clarity. It's helped me feel better. It helps me be more productive. And I'm getting to the point where I don't like that routine to be interrupted. I look forward to being able to go and work out. I love how I feel after I work out. So my body is getting used to that predictability. Drinking water, I'm adding to my routine. So find a routine that makes you feel better and supports a healthier lifestyle. Add professional support when needed. I am biased because, like I said, I'm a professional therapist. I truly believe in the work of therapy. And if you feel like you need it, if you're not getting what you need from the things that you're trying, please seek out professional help. Therapy is a wonderful tool. Find a support group. Talk to your primary care. Maybe you have some medical issues that might need to be addressed. Find a good uh, wellness coach. Seek out help from your church. Or if it's very severe, you can dial 988 for any crisis that you may be going through. You want to add joy. Joy is not childish, joy is protective. Music, laughter, creativity, cooking, crafting, nature, games, and hobbies can support emotional recovery. You want to create a mental health plate. Think of your mental health like a plate. If your plate only has work, caregiving, bills, stress, social media, conflict, and responsibility, your system becomes emotionally undernourished. A balanced mental health plate includes rest, movement, meaningful connection, quiet time, nutrition, hydration, emotional expression, spiritual or value based grounding, joy, creativity, problem solving, professional help when needed. Now ask yourself, what is missing from my mental health plate? Maybe your plate has responsibility but no rest. Maybe it has service to others but no support for yourself. Maybe it has productivity but no joy. Maybe it's survival but no healing. This week, choose one thing to add to your mental health plate. Not everything, just one thing. Then you want to pause before the pattern. Mental health struggles show up in patterns. Some people shut down. Some people overfunction. Some people please. Some people explode. Some people isolate. Some people numb with food. I'm guilty of that. Alcohol, spending, guilty of that. Scrolling or busyness. Some people become overly controlling because they feel unsafe inside. The goal is not to shame the pattern. The goal is to notice it. Use this phrase: pause before the pattern. When you feel activated, ask, what is my usual pattern when this trigger happens? Is this pattern helping or hurting? What would be a healthier response? So if your pattern is to say yes when I'm already overwhelmed, a healthier response is to say, let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. If your pattern is to shut down when you're criticized, a healthier response is to say, I need a few minutes, but I don't want to come back, but I do want to come back to the conversation. The pause gives you power. It gives you control. We may not control every feeling that comes up, but we can learn to create a space before we react. Create a practical daily wellness plan. And we talked about some of that previously. A simple plan could start with your morning with setting your mindset. What do I need to protect my peace today? Sometimes you can even choose a word that can be your mantra. You can choose a word such as steady, patient, focused, grounded, honest, calm, brave, present. Try incorporating check ins with yourself. Ask yourself, have I eaten today? Have I moved around today? Where am I holding tension at today? For me, it is always in my shoulders. Always. I've been trying to actively become aware of when I'm holding my shoulders up like this and readjust my body. And it makes my whole body relax when I do that. Take 60 seconds to breathe, stretch, or step away from the stimulation. In the evening, you want to create a routine. Remember, we talked about routines. Create a routine of release and reset. What are you carrying that does not need to come with you to tomorrow, to the next day? Write down one stressor, one feeling, and one thing you did well today. This does not have to be complicated. Mental wellness is often built through small, repeatable actions. And when you discover that self-care is not enough, it is important to say this clearly. Mental wellness tools are helpful, but they are not a replacement for professional care and when someone needs more support. You may need additional help if you're noticing your symptoms are interfering with your work, your parenting, school, relationships, or daily functioning. If you're feeling hopeless the majority of the time or emotionally unsafe, if you are using substance or unhealthy behaviors to cope, you are having panic attacks or intense mood changes, if you are not sleeping or you're sleeping too much, if you feel disconnected from reality, if you are having thoughts of harming yourself or someone else, in these moments, support is not a weakness. Support is an intervention. Support is wisdom. Support is protection. If there is immediate danger or contact, you should contact your local emergency services or local crisis center. So as we finish up this inaugural podcast for In the Thick of Mental Health, I want to leave you with this. Mental wellness is not something we wait to care about after everything falls apart. Mental wellness is something we build into the day. One pause, one honest feeling, one boundary, one walk, one glass of water, one safe conversation, one moment of rest, one decision to ask for help. This week, ask yourself, what can I add to my mental health? Not, what do I need to prove? Who do I need to please? How much more can I carry? Ask yourself, what can I add that helps me become more well? Thank you for joining me in the thick of mental health. And I will see you soon, neighbor.